Hi, we're going to carry on from yesterday's work, okay? We're going to go over again using the balance method, so a little bit of revision of what we did yesterday, and then we're going to apply that to finding missing angles. Let's just start off with a reminder of how we do the balance method. I'm just copying some of the questions from the textbook, but we'll do some of them, but not all of them. So that'll be 7 plus y is equal to 10. Now, remembering with the balancing method, the balance method, we just need to be left with y equals down here, don't we? Okay, so that means on this side of the equation, we need to get rid of this plus 7. We know it's a positive 7 because it's got no sign there, so it's a positive 7. So in order to get rid of that, we need to take 7 away from it. Because it's the balancing method, we take away 7 on this side, therefore we take away 7 on the other side. Okay, so that leaves us with y. 7 minus 7 gives us with nothing, so we're left with y. 10 take away 7 is 3. Okay, let's look at a slightly trickier one. Oh, well, I think I wrote the last one incorrectly. Okay. Let's just go 3p. 3p is equal to 0. Okay. Now, first of all, how are we going to? This is 3 times p. 3 times p. So we only want to be left with p here. So if we divide, what we're doing now, if we divide this side of the equation by 3, we're left with p. We need to divide that by 3 as well. 0 divided by 3 is 0. P is equal to 0. 3 times 0 is 0, isn't it? Okay. So another example. Let's do k over 0.5 is equal to 6. Okay. Let's have a look at this one. So remember, this is dividing by 0.5. So if I want to get rid of that, get rid of k divided by 0.25, I'm going to times it by 0.5. Okay, I have to do the same on this side, times by 0.5. That leaves me with k here. And 6 times 0.5, that's half of 6 is 3. Does that work? How many times does 0.5 go into 3? 6. Yes, that is correct. Okay. Let's just do one more before we carry on. Let's go do the... Right, let's do a nice straightforward one. 4x is equal to 36. So remember, this is 4 times x, so I'm going to divide that by 4, which means I also have to do the same to the other side, dividing by 4. That will give me x. X equals 9. Okay. Right, let's have a go at these questions here, please. Have a go at these. If you have any problems with them, please email me and ask. Okay, email me and ask. So and remembering, you're using the balance method. So in this case, I'm going to have to minus 1.2 here, aren't I? And then minus 1.2. So I'm doing the same to both sides. On this one, again, I need to minus 5 on this side. To get rid of that, I need to minus 5 on that side. So have a go with those. They get a little bit tricky with these negative signs, with the negative signs. So remember, what do I need to divide this by? This minus 5. I need to divide it also by minus 5. Okay, divided by minus 5 in order to give me a positive n. Okay, and then I'd have to do the same on the other side, divided by minus 5. Okay, and then see what I come up with there. So some tricky ones, 3 or 4 fairly tricky. Okay, but have a go at those. Okay, pause the video while you have a go at those, and we'll go over them when you're done. All right, press play when you finish those. Okay, let's have a look at number 1. Okay, so 1.2 plus c equals 4.6. So again, we need to be left with just c. So let's take away 1.2 from this side. That means we have to take away 1.2 from the other side. Okay, the balance method. So 4.6 minus 1.2 equals 3.4. C equals 3.4, number 1. Okay, let's have a look at number 2. Again, fairly straightforward, I think, number 2. Okay, x is x plus 5 equals 1. I need to get rid of this plus 5. So because it's a positive 5, I have to take 5 away from it. Because positive 5 take away 5 is 0. Okay, so that'll leave me with x on this side. So again, I have to do the same on this one, minus 5. What is 1 take away 5? It is in fact minus 4. 1 take away 5 is minus 4, remember. Okay, this doesn't work. Minus 4 plus 5 will give me a positive 1. Okay, let's have a look at question 3. Give that a tick if you got it right. Gets a little bit trickier again when it comes to question 3. So we've got minus 5n is equal to a positive 15. Okay, so remember, we want this n to be a positive n, so we have to divide it by a negative 5, because a negative divided by a negative gives me a positive. Okay, otherwise I'd end up with a negative on this side. So I'm going to divide it by negative 5, and that will give me an n. Minus 5 divided by minus 5 is a positive 1, so it's 1n. I'm going to do the same on the other side, divided by minus 5. 15 divided by, how many 5s so 15 divided by minus 5, again a positive divided by a negative will always give me a negative number. Okay, so it comes with how many, so that would be 3, because there are 3 5s in 15, and a positive divided by a negative gives me a negative number. Let's see if it works with our original question. Okay, so this is minus 5 times n minus 3 equals 15. A negative times a negative gave me a positive. Okay, so just remember, going back to that, I haven't gone through that too much about a negative times a negative is a positive. We did do a lot of that before. Okay, so if the signs are the same, let's do that quickly now. So it's negative times a negative will always give me a positive. A positive times a positive is also a positive. A negative times a positive is a negative. And a positive times a negative is a negative. If the signs are the same, it's always a positive. If the signs are different, it's always a negative. Okay, let's have a look at the last question in that case. Okay, we've got it here. I won't bother writing it out again. So let's have a look. We want to get rid of this minus 2 because we want to be left with x on this side of the equation. So to get rid of the minus 2, I have to add 2 to it, because minus 2 plus 2 equals 0. Okay. Right. So because I've added 2 on this side, I have to add 2 on the other side. Okay. So that means I'm left with x on this side, and that leaves me with x underneath. Minus 3 plus 2 is a negative 1. Okay, a negative 1. Let's look at our question. So if we had minus 2 plus minus 1, you get minus 3, and you would, because this positive and a negative becomes a negative. Okay, so it's minus 2, take away 1, 1 is minus 3, so that is correct. The answer, x is minus 1. It does get a little bit tricky with those negative numbers. Again, don't worry too much if you're not getting them at the moment, because we're going to do lots and lots of practice. As long as you've got the general idea of the balance method, I'll be more than happy. Right, okay. Let's get a little look at some types of questions that involve, okay, involve angles, shapes and angles. So first of all, we have to write an equation for this, okay? An equation for this. Now we know angles on a straight line add up to 180. So this x plus that x equals 180. So I know looking at that we can work out what that angle is, but you will be asked in the next part to write out equations for things. So this is 1x and 1x is 2x. So we've added up our x's and we know that this angle and this angle will equal 180. Okay. Then to solve that equation, we just want to be left with x, don't we? Okay. So we're going to divide that by 2. We divide that by 2. X equals 90. Okay. We can see that x equals 90 degrees. Okay. X equals 90 degrees. So we'll look at the next question. Okay. Again, we're going to write out an equation for it first, okay? And again, so we're going to do the 2x and 3x. We're going to add up all the x's, okay? So 2x plus 1x is 3x. So we know it's going to come, I'll just do it above actually. So that's going to be 3x. And we know that angles on a straight line equal 180 degrees. So 3x equals 180. So we need then to find the value of x. So this is the equation. This is the equation for this question. And then we have to write the value of x. So again, we need to find just x on this side of the equation. So we're going to divide that by 3 to leave us with x. And we're going to divide that by 3 because it's the balanced method. X is 60 degrees. Okay. Let's have a little look at the next question, please. So look at the next one. So here we can see this is a right angle. That's 90 degrees. Okay, because they squared off part of it. And now we can see that these two angles are also going to equal 90 degrees, aren't we? This plus this is 90 degrees because it's an angle on a straight line. And that's 90. So we're going to add up our equation here would be 2x and 1x is 3x. And this time 3x equals 90 degrees, isn't it? This angle here is only 90 degrees they're covering. To find the value of x, we're going to divide by 3, divide by 3. So x equals 30 degrees. Each of those angles is 30 degrees. Okay. Now, could you have a go, please? Could you have a go at, first of all, this question? Can you write out the equation? Okay, that's 2x, 2x, and x. Can you write out the equation for it first of all, and then find the value of x? Pause the video while you draw the equation and find the value of x. Press play when you are finished. Okay, let's add up all the x's. 2x and 2x is 4x and 1x is 5x. So all the x's add up to 5x. And the angles on a straight line, we know are going to equal 180 degrees. Okay, so that's the equation for it. Now we need to find the value of x. So we need to divide this by 5 to leave us with x on this side. So we do the same. Divide by 5, 180 divided by 5, what's that, 10, 20, 30, 32, 34, 36, I think, 36, yeah. Equals 36 degrees. Okay, so x equals 30. Hopefully you've got that. If you have, give yourself a tick. Okay, trickier one now, trickier one. Okay, have a go at that. So it's 2x plus 5, just in case you can't see, 2x plus 5 equals 115. Write the equation out first. Okay, write the equation out first and then calculate the equation, please. Okay, pause the video while you do that. Press play when you've done it. Right, so the equation is pretty straightforward. We've got 2x plus 5. So we know that this angle here is 2x plus 5. If we add it on this angle here is 115. We know that that totals 180 degrees. Okay, that totals 180 degrees, isn't it? Because this angle plus that angle is 180. This angle is 2x plus 5. that angle is 115. So from here, we just want to be left with x on this side of the equation. Okay. Yeah, in fact, yeah, we'll be fine with this. Right, so we're going to start off with, I'm going to take away 5 to get rid of that, and I'm going to take away 100. Let's take away 5 first. I'm going to take away 5, which will leave me, I'm going to take away 5 on this side. Okay, so that will leave me with 175. So now we're down to 2x plus 115 equals 175. Now I want to get rid of this 115. Okay, so I'm going to take away 115 from it. Okay, so I have to do the same on this side because it's the balancing method, so I have to do the same to both sides, remember. Okay, so this leaves me with 115, take away 115, leaves me with nothing, so I'm now left with 2x, and I'm going to do 175 take away 15, 75 take away 15 is 60, take away 100 is, so it'll be 60. So I'm left with 2x is equal to 60. Now, I want to be left with just x, don't I? So I'm going to divide this side by 2 to leave me with x, because it's the balancing method. I divide that by 2 as well. X equals 30 degrees. So that's how we do that. I mean, they're quite good fun, these questions, actually, once you get into them. We will be doing lots of ones like this later on, which will be trickier, but the ones today are a bit more straightforward. Okay. Right, this is the work I'd like you to do today, please. Could you? Page 161, questions 11 and 12. Please read the questions carefully because it's asking you to write the equation and then find the value. Okay. The same then, please, with page 169, question 9 and 10. So it's only 4 questions. Only 4 questions. But really take your time and make sure you work it out. And I'd like you, please, then to have a go at the extension as well. Those of you, those of you who are finding this pretty straightforward, please do the extension to push yourself. Okay. Right. Okay. Well done. Thank you for that. And we will carry on with this next time. Bye.